Back now on Triad today. Throughout the year, we will from time to time talk about various kinds of cancers and treatments and preventions. I'm going to cover a very specific kind right now with an expert in the field, and we're so glad to have him here as a first-time visitor. Next to me, Dr. Cesar Rodriguez. He's in the Department of Oncology and Hematology at Wake Forest Baptist Medical Center. Welcome, Doc. Good to see you.
Thank you very much for having me.
Doc, what are some of the diseases that you treat? Just give me a thumbnail sketch of before we get into the specifics.
So I'm trained as a hematologist and an oncologist. So I basically focus on blood cancers.
Okay.
And within the blood cancers, there's a group of blood cancers that I focus on the most, which is multiple myeloma and all of its variants, which are plasma cell disorders.
Multiple myeloma. Now, I had to look this up, and I know folks at home are watching and thinking, yeah, we need to go Google this, but before they Google, let's use you as the Google.
Sure.
What is it? What is multiple myeloma, and how does it affect the body?
So multiple myeloma is a type of blood cancer. It's considered a rare disease because it's not one of the most common cancers that happens here in the United States, but it is the second most common blood cancer here in the United States. It affects 38,000 people each year are diagnosed with this, and about 12,000 people are going to be dying from this disease each year in the United States. It basically is, we make blood every day, and that's what keeps us alive. And we have different types of cells in the blood that help carry oxygen or help fight infections or help heal wounds. And there's a type of white cell that helps fight infections called a plasma cell. And whenever this cell gets altered or mutated, it evolves into a cancer, which is multiple myeloma.
That's where it comes from.
Correct.
How do you and your team work with multiple myeloma patients?
So we work as this type of cancer is not an easy cancer to diagnose. A lot of the times, because the symptoms are so insidious and hard to pinpoint, by the time we see the patients, they've already had this disease for months or maybe few years. And the reason why that is that the cancer cells, as they grow in the bone marrow, which is where we make blood, they can eventually cause damage to the bone and lead to bone pain or bone fractures. Can lead to anemia because it doesn't allow the healthy cells to grow properly.
Right.
But then this plasma cell or abnormal plasma cell, which we call myeloma cell, it produces a protein that can cause damage to the kidney. And because the patients who develop this type of cancer tend to be above an average about 68 years or older, in their 60s and 70s, at that age, we all have back pain, we all have fatigue.
So what do you look for when you say back pain and fatigue? I mean, that can be a number of things, but it could mean that's a symptom of this too.
Correct. And that's why it's very important that we keep a yearly annual physical with labs, with their primary care doctor.
Okay.
Because a lot of the times, people who have back pain are going to be having these symptoms, and the first thing we're going to think of is, oh, I slept wrong.
Right.
And if we see that it doesn't get better, then we know, okay, let's scratch the surface a little bit more and find this
I agree with you.
cancer.
Annual or semi-annual blood tests are important. Before time gets away from us, I heard through the grapevine you had just come back from a trip. What was that about?
That's correct. So I just came back from a 10-day hike in Patagonia in South America with 13 other people. We had 4 patients, their significant others and spouses, research people, and patient caretakers who have lost family members to multiple myeloma. And in combination with MMRF and Cure Today, we went and hiked for 10 days through the mountains to raise awareness of multiple myeloma,
Isn't that
raise funds for cancer. It was a very unique experience, sharing like side by side, hiking this mountain peaks, and then getting to see the dynamic between the patients and their spouses,
right.
Getting to interact with them and getting to have a whole aspect that you don't get to see in the clinic. It's definitely changed.
That's amazing. That's just amazing. Up on screen, I want to put something up here. wakehealth.edu is the website for general information, wakehealth.edu. But I hope you'll come back sometime. I want to ask you about your background and what led you to medicine and lots of things we want to understand about some of these diseases and go maybe more into some of the symptoms. So will you come back sometime?
Sure, I'd be more than glad to.
All right, Doc, thanks for everything.
Thank you.
All right.